Hey, I'm Paredeh. After completing Pokemon Legends EA's Pokédex and finally getting the Shiny Charm, I was ready to take on the next challenge, the Mega Dimension DLC. This expansion adds over 100 new Pokemon, including one I've wanted on my team for a very long time. Zeraora. It just received a brand new Mega Evolution, and I'm not even exaggerating when I say I'm completely in love with it. I usually don't use legendaries or mythicals on my team, but just this once, I'm making an exception. Our new objective is simple: catch every new Pokemon, unlock every new Mega Evolution, and finally get Zeraora. Let's do it. This challenge started like any other, with us meeting a child on a rooftop, standing next to a mythical Pokemon. I've honestly seen stranger things. Her name is Ansha, and she wanted our help making a donut to give to her partner, Hoopa, hoping it would fill him with a massive surge of power. After explaining everything to Team MZ, we quickly realized we had a problem. We were out of butter, because Tony used it all on her evil schemes. Oh yeah, Tony's evil, just in case you somehow missed that. So naturally, I was the one sent on a quest for butter. And of course, when I got there, I ran into Tony again. Before we could leave, we were confronted by Grisham and Tarragon, which is definitely a weird duo. It turns out Grisham has been teaching Tarragon how to bake bread, specifically canary-shaped bread. And yes, we had to battle for the last piece of butter. But I beat them easily, with absolutely no help from Tony, of course. Feeling generous, we gave them a bit of butter and returned to Hotel Z to finally start making donuts. When we got back, Ansha had already set up an entire donut shop in the hotel lobby. Honestly, it might be bringing in more customers than the hotel itself. We handed over the butter and Ansha explained how donut making works. To bake them, we need berries, each with a specific flavor profile: spicy, sweet, sour, bitter, or fresh, and each one gives a different effect. We'll get into that later. After making our first donut, Ansha led us to a strange rift. Hoopa ate the donut and immediately opened it. Ansha said she was searching for a fine legendary and jumped straight in. This is usually where you ask, should we really let her enter a mysterious distortion alone? I couldn't care less. She said fine legendary. I'm going in too. Inside, we found ourselves in a desaturated version of Lumiose City. We split into groups of 2 to search for Ansha, and hopefully that legendary. As we explored, we ran into a group of Mankey. They were level 110. Wait, what? That's the main gimmick of this DLC. These distortions contain Pokemon with levels above 100. To survive, you feed Hoopa donuts that temporarily boost your team's level. Somehow, we managed to defeat the Mankey and eventually found Ansha. Unfortunately, the fine legendary wasn't there, so we left. But hey, that was fun, right? Surely we could explore more of these distortions and grab some Pokemon. What could possibly go wrong? Oh no. Back at Hotel Z, we all act like a giant rift didn't just open above Wild Zone 20. Ansha tells us she doesn't really understand what the other space was, but she did see a freaking Rayquaza inside one of them. This is about to be quite the journey. Before we can even process that, Corbo calls us, and immediately calls Tony stupid. That's why I love this guy. He tells us to meet him at his office. Apparently, something important is going on. At the Rust Syndicate, we meet Corbo, Philip, and Vinny, who's there on business. Corbo explains that the Syndicate has been investigating the strange distortions to protect their the city. With help from Quasartico, they've officially stepped in to deal with the situation. After filling them in on everything that's happened, Corbo gives these alternate spaces a name: Hyperspace Lumiose. And now, he wants me to survey them, to figure out what they are, how they work, and what's causing that massive rift above Prism Tower. So I head back to Hotel Z, bake a whole bunch of donuts, and just as I'm about to leave, Mabel appears in hologram form and hands me a brand new Pokédex to complete. Now the challenge truly begins. Fully prepared, I feed Hoopa and enter my first distortion. Oh, I need to complete tasks. Catch shiny Pokemon. What the f? Oh wait, is that shiny? What the f? Yep, this is gonna be fun. Then I caught a regular Yamask and completed several missions like destroying floating Pokeballs that drop loot like berries and evolution items, and capturing specific Pokemon types, in this case, fire types. Each distortion has unique missions, and completing all of them rewards you with a golden bonus ball, packed with high tier loot. This time I got Hyper Berries, which let us bake stronger donuts and stay inside distortions longer. Because yes, there's also a time limit, determined by your donut's calories. The second distortion focused on bug types. Here I managed to catch 2 Wimpod. I also learned that if you evolve a Spoopacot in Hyperspace Lumiose, it becomes a Garden Pattern Vivinion. Just a fun fact. Then I picked up a side quest where a guy gives me a Gimmighoul and asks me to evolve it. That means collecting 999 coins scattered throughout Hyperspace Lumiose. Sure, that definitely won't take long at all. After exploring several distortions, I caught all 4 Squawkabilly forms, 2 Clobopas, and Mime Jr. With my survey complete, it was time to report back to Corbeau. Thanks to my work, we discovered that Hyperspace Lumiose directly affects real Lumiose, meaning Pokemon from there could actually start appearing in the city. Honestly, that'd be kinda sick. But there's a problem. Some Pokemon inside Hyperspace can rogue Mega Evolve. So yeah, more boss battles coming. Since Hyperspace Pokemon are really strong, and only 3 people can safely enter distortions, Corbeau arranged backup. There she is, let's go! There she is. Corina wanted to test us in battle and... I'm sorry, what are you wearing? Anyway, we battle Corina and witness our first brand new Mega. Ooh. Is it Mega Lucario Z? It's Mega Lucario Z. This is Mega Lucario Z, a Z Mega evolution. It works like a normal Mega, but trades duration for faster charging attacks. And honestly, I can't wait to see more of these. After that, Corina joins the team, and we head straight into a distortion showing signs of an imminent rogue Mega evolution. Inside we meet an Absol. I was not ready for this. What's it gonna be? Okay, this looks amazing, because Mega Absol is the angel, this one is the devil. Regardless, we defeated it. I catch Absol, add it to the team, and named him Ampher. Corbeau tells us to rest for the day, but before we leave, a golden bonus ball appears. Inside, hyper berries and some very nice butter. Why is butter such a critical resource in this DLC? Back at Hotel Z, we give Ansha the new butter, unlocking even more donut recipes. At dinner, I can't help but notice that Ansha's curry looks different. Maybe Tony draws the line at poisoning children. Finally, Corina tells us about her connections with AZ and asks to stay at Hotel Z during our Hyperspace campaign. The next day, Ansha was casually flexing about another hotel she'd stayed in. Corina commented that Ansha comes from a wealthy family, which immediately raised several questions. Who is her family? And do they even know she's here? Right as Ansha was being pressed on this, Gwen showed up, clearly looking for her. She reported back to someone, and moments later, that someone stormed into the hotel. Lebain. Leban? She was looking for Ansha because, surprise, she's the daughter of someone extremely close to Jacinthe. Ansha, get out of my hotel. Apparently, Leban was supposed to babysit and guard Ansha, but she escaped. Now Leban had to bring her back, or face Jacinthe's wrath yet again. Since Leban was in no mood to talk things out, Naveen and I battled her and Gwen. After the fight, Leban finally calmed down, and only then noticed Ansha standing right in front of her. In the end, she decided to leave Ansha in our capable hands, and just tell Jacinthe that she's safely in her room. Problem solved, probably. Not long after, Corbeau called and told us to head back to the office for our next survey. According to him, the distortions were getting worse, and their new tech was now picking up previously unseen distortions, along with new Pokemon, which meant only one thing: back to Hyperspace Lumiose. This time around, I caught Farfetch'd, Shroodle, Toxel, Tufido, Starly and Staravia, and Nickit. Then things got spicy. I encountered 2 special distortions. In the first one, I fought 2 trainers using Mega Raichu X and Mega Raichu Y. After defeating them, I obtained both Raichu Knight X and Raichu Knight Y. I could now Mega Evolve Raichu. Will I? Absolutely not. The second distortion was worse, because inside I found a brand new Mega Pokemon, or rather, 2 of them. Yeah, I had to battle both of them at the same time. It was brutal, but eventually I pulled through and obtained the Crabominite. While handling side quests, I met a guy who decided that he wanted to be my rival. Sure man, I don't have one, so go for it. He asked me to catch a Sharkadet and battle him. Then he made me choose between the Auspicious Armor and the Malicious Armor. I chose Malicious for obvious reasons. He evolved this Sharkadet into Armarouge, which meant I now had to get my own Surledge to beat him. Then, while casually walking a Fido... Is that a shiny Alpha Kangaskhan? Yeah, we can come back for it later, I guess. I completely forgot to come back for it. In another special distortion, I encountered yet another new Mega. Huh? This one caught me completely off guard. I defeated it and obtained the Scovilanite. Back to catching Pokemon. I added Rookidee, Purloin, 3 Charcadet, a Alolan Meowth, doesn't count toward the total, Gulpin, and Trico. Then I returned to the armor guy, evolved my Charcadet into Surledge, and absolutely demolished his Armourouge. While exploring the city, I met a guy with serious back problems. Apparently, only an Octolog from a Grapplock could fix it. So I evolved one of my Clobbopus and helped them out. You're welcome. I was ready to take on the next Rogue Mega, but first, a few more distortions. There I caught Fungus, Cubone, 2 Grievard, and Mastiff. And now, it was time. Who is it? Oh no. The Mega Staraptor. Oh, that Staraptor looks nice as hell. We defeated it, caught it, obtained the Staraptite, and headed him to the team. Destroying the bonus ball rewarded us with yet another butter upgrade. That is a sentence I just said. We now have great butter, and our donuts have leveled up once again. That night, Ansha told Corina she could hear a faint voice coming from the distortion above the tower. Maybe it's Zeraora? I really want to add them to the team, okay? But then, we heard the voice ourselves. Stay away. Now I really have to go there. The next day, Ansha and Corina finally became full-fledged Team MZ members. I just hope we get to vote for a new leader soon. Corbo tells us they're still analyzing the data I collected, so for once, we actually had free time. Corina and Ansha suggested we visit the Lumiose Museum and Café Soleil. But you know me, we did some side quests first. In one of them, a woman complained that her coffee tasted salty. Turns out, it was caused by an Ackley. We caught it, and somehow she decided she liked her coffee salty after all. That's worse than drinking it black. Near Wild Zone 8, a Quasartico employee asked me to investigate something strange. Inside, we found several Sandygast, and I managed to catch a couple. Apparently, they were frightening the other Pokemon, which is wild, because I've never seen anyone scared of sandcastles. Alright, back to the Slice of Life episode. At the museum, we saw a bunch of exhibits, picked up on some lore, and got way too close to Volo's outfit. They really don't stop teasing him. After that, we headed to Café Soleil, and there we just talked. Slice of Life complete. Honestly, pretty fun. Back at Hotel Z, Naveen gifted Ansha an apron with the Team MZ logo. Now she's really part of the crew. Immediately after that, we heard a noise coming from the meeting room and found a wild Gulpin inside. I guess he lives here now. Corbo called again, this time with a new theory. According to him, Hyperspace Lumiose might be created by the subconscious of people. Memories of the city being replicated through human and Pokemon thoughts. We need to know more about that. And that meant more survey work. Back in the distortions I caught Tinkatink, Spoink, and Zubat. Then I tried one of the red distortions. Turns out, they're basically battle zones, which means there's absolutely no reason to do them for this challenge. But I did still complete the survey. That unlocked a new Rogue Mega. Oh, are those the 3 Tatsugiri? Are you for real? Oh, it really is Tatsugiri. Oh my god, I don't know what to expect from this stream anymore. Oh, nice! After defeating it, I caught it and obtained the Tatsugiri Knight. And as tradition demands, the bonus ball rewarded us with an even stronger butter. Amazing butter. During dinner, we realized that Ansha might have seen Rayquaza simply because she dreamed really hard about it, which raises 2 very important questions. Why is Hyperspace Lumiose reflecting our dreams? And why isn't Snorlax in the game yet? Later that night, on a rooftop, Jet spoke with Vinny about the surveys. As they talked, the distortion above Lumiose grew even stronger. Time was running out. The next day, Corina asked me and Ton used stronger. Yeah, that's not even a question. Then we noticed Naveen was missing, and that's when his crafties showed up to get us. We rushed to his room and found Naveen tearing the place apart, desperately looking for his signed Canary plush like a man possessed. Thankfully, Gulpin, absolute legend, found it instantly. Problem solved. Corbo called again, which meant it was time to repeat the usual routine. Go to the Rust Syndicate, Corbo tells us the stakes are even higher, we learn about even stronger distortions, and then we go catch even more Pokemon. This time we caught 2 Jigglypuff, Igglybuff, Knacklestack, Scovillain, Capsakid, and Zangoose. Then a special distortion appeared. No Golisopod? Oh, he's already on its Mega form. Looks normal to me, but still it looks nice. It's Golisopod, so it always looks nice. And I got absolutely demolished. Time ran out, and Mega Golisopod escaped. But now I knew one thing for sure. I need him on my team. Not long after, another special distortion showed up. This time, featuring Mega Chimecho. I defeated it and obtained the Chimekite. More new catches followed, Muna, Quillfish, and Mudkip. Now only Torchic was missing to complete the trio. If only I knew back then. The next Rogue Mega was located inside Hotel Richie Sim, and you know what that means. It's time to face the witch. Inside we found Lida, who was there to pick up some of Ansha's belongings, and also walked straight into a heated argument between Jacinth and Griselle. They were arguing about coffee, and as a coffee enjoyer myself, I get it. Naturally, I got dragged into the middle of it and had to battle both of them alongside Lida. And honestly, beating Jacinth never gets old. For some reason, after the fight, they became best friends, which of course left Laban extremely jealous. That's when we learned Jacinth already knew Ansha had been helping us this whole time, which means Laban is getting punished again. I'm really sorry. Time for the next Rogue Mega. Who is it? Meowstick, what? Oh... Okay, it actually looks really sick. After a brutal fight, where I definitely didn't get destroyed twice, we finally won and obtained the Meowsticite. Do I really need to comment on this again? We opened the bonus ball and unlocked Supreme Butter, wow. What's next, God Butter? During dinner, Ansha casually mentioned that she likes Jacinth. This child is actively trying to get kicked out of my hotel. And that's when the truth came out. Ansha is Diantha's daughter. Oh my god, for real? Who could have possibly guessed? Apparently, Diantha was the one who taught Jacinth everything she knows. Great! Another character added to my hate list. That night, I had a dream. The same mysterious voice from before whispered, "Subscribe. Follow me on Twitch. I do a lot of fun stuff there. Thank you very much." The next morning, everyone was talking about strange dreams they had. Something whispering to them to stay away. No idea what they're talking about. I slept like a rock. That's when Emma showed up, and we ended up talking about AZ. I miss the big guy. She explained that since AZ couldn't fully take care of the hotel and atone for his past at the same time, he brought a group of young people together to help him. And that's how Team MZ was born. Once again, Corbo summoned us. But when we arrived, we were immediately greeted by Canary and Ivor, causing chaos for reasons I absolutely refuse to care about. We beat them and moved on to the important stuff, and learned nothing new. So of course, more survey work. This time around, we caught Galar and Mr. Mime, and 2 Phoebas. After that, I completed the quest where I had to show one of my Phoebas to a woman in exchange for a prism scale. Soon enough, I'll get a Milotic. I also ran into an indie game developer who wanted to trade me a Porygon. Since I didn't have one at the time, I decided to come back later. Back to catching Pokemon. We managed to get 2 Galarian Farfetch'd and Shingling. Then it was finally time for the rematch. This time, Mega Golisopod was not escaping. After a brutal fight, I won, obtained a Golisopite, evolved one of my Wimpod into Golisopod, and added him to the team. While finishing up the survey, I also caught Meowth, Persian, and Seviper. And that's when I encountered the second to last Mega I plan to add to my DLC team. No, Golurk! Golurk is my favorite Gen 5 Pokemon. There was no universe where I wasn't catching this thing. After defeating it, I obtained the Golurkite. Then we wrapped up the survey with Crobrawler and Glimmet. Time for the Rogue Mega. And despite me saying this every single time, I truly wasn't ready for this one. No Bro, this has to look epic. Holy sh**. As cool as it looks, this thing is insanely strong. But in the end, we prevailed, catching it and obtaining the Eternite. Oh yeah, the butter. Yeah, that is not safe for consumption. And speaking of things that shouldn't be eaten... Nope, absolutely not. That night, I was woken up by a scream coming from Lida's room. Inside, I found Lida sleepwalking with... Mega Starmie. Yeah, I'm going back to bed. And I did. So hard that I ended up dreaming I was in some random forest, with that same voice telling me that something hurts. Have you tried paracetamol? But jokes aside, yeah, this thing was about to blow up. The final battle was coming. The next morning, everyone was talking about that same strange dream, when Corbo suddenly called us all to his office. But the moment I walked in, I wasn't in the office anymore. Don't do that! It turns out the distortion had become so unstable that it pulled all of us inside. We had to find Corbo, and that's when we learned the worst part. Not only were Hyperspace Pokemon appearing in the real world, but people and Pokemon from the real world were starting to get dragged into hyperspace, and eventually, no one would be able to go home. Then, just like that, the distortion faded, and we were back in Corbo's office. And this time, he finally had answers. Hyperspace Lumiose was being created by a single Pokemon. A Pokemon that had been exposed to everything Tony did back then. And because of all that Mega energy, it created a massive distortion above the tower. And now, that Pokemon was at risk of becoming a rogue Mega. So we came up with a plan. To infuse a donut with Mega Evolution energy and feed it to Hoopa. It was time to begin Operation Mega Donut. Which meant one last round of surveys. I caught Tivul, Marowak, 2 Galarian Meowth. Holy sh**, is that a shiny on Edge? I evolved one of the Galarian Meowth into Berserker and caught the Mr. Mime. Then, in another special distortion, a new Mega appeared. What the hell? Glimmora has a Mega! I mean, it's not that bad, I guess. We obtained the Glimmoranite. Then I tried to catch a Wigglytuff of... Never mind. I just evolved the Jigglypuff I already had. Then I finished the final survey by catching Grumpig, Liepard, Mabostiff, Amogus, Cleavor, Cryogonal, and Chimecho. It was time. Everyone gathered at Hotel Z, where Kerbo handed us the recipe for the ultimate donut. I needed 310 sweet, 100 spicy, 210 sour... Oh, come on! Okay, got it. Corbo gave us a special spice. We got to work, and together we created... the Bad Dreams Cruller. This was it. I headed to Prism Tower, and the plan went into motion. Everyone Mega Evolved at once, and after feeding Hoopa the Bad Dreams Cruller... Holy sh**! That was sick! We entered the final distortion, and prepared for our toughest battle yet. Inside, we found ourselves in a strange forest, a place we already seen in our dreams. As we explored, Corina said the Pokemon behind all this was probably Darkrai. Which... yeah, the donut was literally called Bad Dreams. Then... no sh**. Can you guys see him? Izzy was there! Tony was shocked. Apparently she was the one who found him. Well, not alive. Izzy thanked us for everything we did for Lumiose. Poor guy still doesn't know what Tony's been up to. He said goodbye, and that was it. At the center of the forest, we reached a massive crater. And once again, that voice spoke. And then, he appeared. Darkrai. The battle was brutal. Darkrai threw everything he had at us, and we were fighting against the clock. The pressure was unreal. Eventually, we brought him down. But of course, that wasn't the end. Oh, he's Mega Evolving. What the hell is this? Rogue Mega Darkrai looked horrifying, and was even stronger. With time almost gone, things were getting desperate. But with Germinio by my side, we pulled through. Darkrai was defeated at the very last second. But there's still Darkrai right there. Oh, we got Darkrai, nice. Darkranite, okay. And just like that, we saved Darkrai. And we saved Lumiose. But the challenge wasn't over. Ansha's dream still hasn't been fulfilled. There were still Pokemon left to catch, and most importantly, Zeraora was still out there. It was finally time to make Ansha's dream a reality. We had to find Rayquaza. Problem is, we had 0 leads. So naturally, we went back to the Rust Syndicate, where they detected 2 strange distortions, Ruby and Sapphire. Ooh, I wonder who those could be. Oh, lore? No. So Corbo has ties with Giovanni and Lysander? This man literally knows everyone. So now, on top of finding Rayquaza, we also had to deal with Groudon and Kyogre, which meant one thing: 2 special donuts, and that meant more surveys. Alright, let's get to work. This kicked off the Dex completion spree. I caught Crabominable. Oh, great start. I caught both forms of Indeedee, evolved Gimmighoul into Goldengo, and no, I did not return it. Goldengo is mine. Swalot, Mimikyu, then I stopped by Racine Construction where Tarragon sold me a Canary Red. Sounds goofy now, but you'll see. Then I wrapped up that survey by catching more Peko. Corbo then asked me to meet him at Café Nouveau, where he explained the donuts we needed to make. But we were missing one key ingredient: onion salt. And only Grisham had it. And for once, we didn't even have to fight for it. Some development finally. I rushed to bake donuts, but I was missing berries. So back to the grind. During that time, I caught Glimmora, Mankey, Cyclizar, Stretchy Tatsugiri, Dondozu, Cofagrigus, Golbat, Crobat, Tro, and 2 Primeape. And just like that, we had everything we needed. We baked the Omega Old-Fashioned Donut and the Alpha Old-Fashioned Donut. It was time to take on the Titans. We started with Groudon, and let me tell you, as always, I was not prepared. I didn't think anything could be harder than Zygarde or Darkrai. Once Groudon entered Primal Reversion, everything went downhill. But somehow, we pulled through. We defeated him, caught him, and obtained the Red Orb. I guess this counts as a Mega Stone? We'll count it. Corbo then explained Primal Reversion. Basically Mega Evolution, but not really. As for Kyogre, Germingo absolutely bullied him. Kyogre caught, Blue Orb acquired. Only one member of the trio left. We met Corbo again, which is basically my full-time job now. And we brought in Mabel to help us find Rayquaza. After a very long explanation that we already knew, she reached her conclusion. We just had to really want it. I really want Snorlax. Where is he? Back at Hotel Z, Ansha told us the legend of Rayquaza, and how back then... Go play Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Let's move on. We made Ansha dream really hard about Rayquaza, and sure enough... If that's not Rayquaza, we're absolutely screwed. Time for what I hope would be the last survey. It was not. We caught Droopy Tatsugiri, 2 Galarian Yamask, 2 Galarian Slowpoke, evolved into Galarian Slowbro and Galarian Slowking, Garganacl, Tinkaton, Corvisquire, Corviknight, Grafaiai, and finally, Golett. I caught 2, evolved 1 into Golurk, added him to the team, and named him Tutur. I kept going and caught Tinkaton, Musharna, Marshtomp, Swampert, Sock, Mr. Rhyme, Alolan Marowak, Low-Key Toxtricity, Flamigo, Alolan Persian, and 2 Grovyle. At this point, I was over 70% of the dex, so it was time to deal with special evolutions. First, Primeape. To evolve it, it needs to use Rage Fist 20 times. So I went to Wild Zone 2 and committed absolute violence until it evolved into a Nihilip. Next, Galarian Farfetch'd. It needs 3 critical hits in a single battle, so I gave it Scope Lens to raise its critical hit ratio, and False Swipe so the opponent wouldn't faint. I went to Wild Zone 1 and spammed. Boom, Surfetch'd. Then I evolved Greavard into Houndstone at night, Sandygast into Palossand, Grovyle into Sceptile, and finally, the most unnecessarily annoying evolution ever, Galarian Yamask. In Sword and Shield, you had to lose 49 HP without fainting. Why 49? And then go to a specific rock formation. Here, it's the same thing. But now, it's a random bridge near Wild Zone 11. Why? No one knows. Still, we got through Narigas. And finally evolved Fido into Dashman. The longest survey in history was complete. Back at Hotel Z, Corbo arrived with Arboliva oil and the recipe for the Delta Old-Fashioned Donut. The donut was baked, and then we entered the distortion. Inside, we saw the top what looked like the Sky Pillar, and then we faced Rayquaza. This was the hardest challenge in the entire game. We fought his base form first, already absurdly strong. Then, Rogue Mega Rayquaza. We got destroyed. Again, and again, and again. But after countless attempts, we finally won. Rayquaza was ours. It doesn't have a Mega Stone, but we're counting him. But then, I had to give him to Ansha. So, challenge failed? Oh, you don't want it? Let's go! Turns out Ansha just wanted to tell the story to Diantha. That was enough for her. And that is more than enough for me. I can almost forgive her for being connected to Jacent. In the end, Ansha stayed a bit longer at Hotel Z. Hyperspace Lumiose still exists. And there are still Pokemon left to catch. And at the very end of the roads, Zeraora is waiting. It's time, the final hunt begins. Corbo called me, and at this point, I know what that means. We had a lot going on, so let's do this in order before my brain melts. First, I met Corinne on the rooftop, where she challenged me to a Lucario on Lucario battle. We'll come back to that. Then, at the reception, we ran into Tony. Don't you have a company to manage? She claimed she was cleaning AZ's room. Yeah, sure. And somehow found a prison bottle. Hoopa immediately reacted to it. At the exact same time, Corbo called about a dangerous distortion containing another Hoopa. We'll get into that too. I headed to the Rust Syndicate, where I learned something dangerous. Ultra rare distortions now exist, and they contain rarer Pokemon. Which means, I now have to grind surveys endlessly for a chance to do a special scan and find them. Fantastic. Let's suffer. While surveying, I caught Amped Toxtricity. Then jumped straight into the Hoopa distortion, faced Unbound Hoopa, and caught him. So now we have 2 Hoopas. Does this mean double the donuts? I guess we'd need another Ansha. Corina time. I challenged her using the Lucario AZ gave me. Fully confident I could beat her Mega Lucario Z. Or not. I kept trying Mega Lucario until by mistake... Oh, one shot! Okay, perfect. Yeah, turns out base Lucario was the answer. After beating her, we received the Lucario Knight Z. After that, we entered another special distortion and met two of the weirdest trainers in the game, brother and sister. They used Mega Latios and Mega Latias. I defeated them, got the Latiosite and the Latiasite, and left the place as fast as humanly possible. Back at the research lab, we learned that Mabel owns a hacked Volcanion, just like the good old days of 2013. Then, Wyvern showed up and casually dropped this bomb. Volcanion destroyed South Kalos. Cool. So now we had to take Volcanion out of the hacked Pokeball and recapture it in the basement. Did the budget really go entirely into Emma? We caught Volcanion and left. Later, in an alley, a shady guy told me about Genesect. He said he'd tell me where it was, if I bought all 4 drives from him, for Mega Shards. Mega Shards used to be for Megastones. Now, distortions are overflowing with them. I wondered why. Now I know. After grinding enough shards, I bought the drives, and they revealed Genesect's distortion. We entered, got Genesect, and the guy vanished. Lumiose has some strange people. The survey was done, so I went back to Corbo to use a special scan. First scan, first distortion, Meloetta. How many mythicals are they giving us? Turns out, special scans can contain legendary Pokemon, which means more surveys. I'm so happy. Then I met a guy I apparently defeated before. He told me a rumor. If the shadow of the Prism Tower crosses a Pokeball, something happens. So I followed the shadow for 20 minutes. And there it was. More shadow. More shadow? Got. Any more mythicals? Oh. You too? Okay, that one's cool. I give up. Back to surveys. At this point, I already had 2 full Owen starter lines, only missing Torchic, and somehow, after hundreds of distortions, not a single one. So when this showed up... Finally! Except I only got Combustion and Blaziken. Then, a special scan gave me Latias, and I caught it, easily. Eventually, I found a distortion with Porygon, and I caught 3. Traded one with the indie dev guy for Porygon 2, and later he gave me a dubious disc. Oh, Torchic, okay, we got Torchic, finally. They only appear when you're not looking for them. That's the meta. Torchic caught, and immediately after that... They are actually trolling me. At this point, I was missing about 15 Pokemon. One of them was Hisuian Quillfish, which like Torchic, had refused to exist. The others were locked behind special scans. But one Pokemon I had no idea what it was. It felt invisible. It literally was. Kecleon caught. My friend Irony, go follow him on Twitch, helped me with trade evolutions. That gave us Milotic and Porygon Z. Only a few left. Eventually, a special scan gave us Hisuian Quillfish and Overquill. Then came the real grind. More special scans gave us Terrakion, Gimmighoul, and all Rotom forms. Now let's address the elephant in the room, Armarouge. Getting the armor is awful. It only drops from Pokeballs in 5-star distortions, but you can't get it without the right donut power. What are donut powers, you ask? Donuts can grant buffs. For example, Sparkling Power make you find more shinies, or Alpha Power makes you find more alphas. So I stacked Sour Points for Item Power Special. This massively boosts evolution item drops. And finally, I got the Auspicious Armor, and evolved Charcadet into Armarouge. Only 8 Pokemon left, all locked behind special scans. We eventually got Hisuian Avalugg, Frigibax, Arctibax, Baxcalibur, Latios, Cobalion, and Virizion. Which meant only 2 remained. I did 20 plus special scans. Hours passed. That tiny horse refused to show up. I was losing my mind. Eventually... we finally got him. We got him! That little was finally caught! Only 1 Pokemon remained. If you go to a rooftop and talk to a kid, it trades your canary bread for candy. If you show that candy to Ansha, she invents a new recipe. And just like that, the Plasma Glazed Donut. Then Emma called, asking us to meet her at the Lumiose train station. A powerful distortion had appeared. And it's poetic. The place where our journey began, it's where it ends. We entered the Hyperspace with Emma and Corina, and there he was. Zeraora. Let's go! I really love Mega Zeraora, like Black Zeraora, just, it's so cool, bro. The fight was brutal, but this wasn't just another boss. I had grinded for hours. This was my ultimate prize. With Tutur by my side, we fought, and in the end, Zeraora was defeated. What Pokeball should I... It has to be Ultra Ball, come on. We did it. Finally, it's done! And we got the Zeraorite. In the end, Corina and I became the strongest trio in Lumiose. Tony stayed outside the group, as she should. And I have a Mega Zeraora. Look at him. After that, I kept playing, got Mega Excalibur and Mega Sceptile, and so, the Pokédex is done, the city is safe, and the grind is over. That's it for the video. It was quite the journey, and that's it for Legends EA. There's more adventures awaiting, and what's next? Only time will tell. Until then, we say goodbye to Lumiose, thank you for everything, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.